Why, hello. Welcome to another fabulous episode of Math Things. Today on Math Things, we'll look at some data organization. A lot of the times when you're looking at books or magazines or articles on the internet, they include things like bar graphs to show data because it's easier to read a bar graph than it is to just get a bunch of data thrown at you and then have to interpret it yourself. What we're going to learn today is how to turn raw data, just like information, into data that we can present on a frequency table, which shows us how much something occurs, and then a bar graph, which is a pictorial representation of our frequency table. That's a lot of words. Let's get into it. So study the following image. That is a pile of leaves. All right. So let's say with this pile of leaves, we really wanted to, for some reason, we really wanted to organize and find out how many of the leaves are brown, how many of the leaves are red, how many of the leaves are yellow, and how many are that other shade of brown. So, like if we just saw a bunch of scattered leaves, it wouldn't be the easiest thing to figure out how many of each there are right away. And especially if I asked you, like, how many brown ones are there? It might take you a moment because you'd have to count them before you could tell me how many brown ones there are. All right. So, one of the things that we do as humans is we like to see things a lot more organized. So, one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to organize the information so that we can share our information to others easily. All right. So, what we're going to do is we are going to make tally marks to count. All right, tally marks are a very very simple way that adults count things because it's groups of five. So counting these groups is pretty easy. 5, 10, 15, 20. You just skip count by fives. Anytime you have the 4 marks and then 1 mark across, that's 5. So basically, the way that we do that is we write marks like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Of course, you can do it the other way. That's fine too. That just shows that you are sitting there with groups of 5. All right. So the way that we would do that is basically if we're counting these yellow leaves, we'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your first 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your second 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your third 5. So we've done that a couple different times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then one more. So if we counted these tally marks, if there weren't the red ones, it would actually be kind of difficult to count them all without putting your finger on them and making sure that you counted each one time. By putting that 5th tally mark across, it makes it kind of a little bit easier to see that group than this line up here. Same thing with the brown leaves. So they did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your first group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your second group. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's your third group. And then 1, 2 is your last group. All right, so we had 21 yellow leaves and we had 17 brown leaves. And we can tell by our tally marks 5, 10, 15, 20. 1 tally marks here, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17 tally marks over here. So here are tally marks and here's a frequency table. All right, so the frequency is just showing how often we have those numbers of leaves. So if we continued with each leaf, this would be a complete frequency table where it shows that we have 21 yellow leaves, 17 brown leaves, 25 red leaves, and 23 tan leaves. All right, so counting these by groups of 5 becomes a little bit easier than counting individual lines. So this is a more efficient way to total up things, all right? So here is our information on a bar graph, all right? So we took the same information off the frequency table. For instance, red, we had 25 red leaves. So on this bar graph, our x-axis is the categories and our y-axis is the number, all right? So that is how you turn a frequency table into a bar graph. So we'll do that in class. Here's the same version as the dot plot. We'll do that as well.